Hello, everybody. I'm Mel Doerr, the Aloha shirt psychic, and I've got my favorite person in the whole wide world here. Geez, I wonder who that could be.
You better say that.
Linda paid me to say that. How you
Yes.
doing,
Oh,
Linda?
I'm fine. I could be better if we got good news about Trump getting kicked out of office, but
Well, that's all of us, right? Um, Before the show, we won't reveal the ending of it, but Linda and I were talking about the movies. And I would suggest everybody see Conclave. We won't tell you the ending, but it's really an incredible
I
movie.
really enjoyed it. I was very surprised about the ending.
Yep.
I think it's going to win Best Picture.
Oh, good. I hope. Michael Tucci did a great job in that movie. Michael, is that
I
his?
know.
Oh, he was incredible. Um, I got a funny feeling you're right. It's really a good movie. I was glued. I couldn't like my eyes would not go off the screen. And it
The
takes
other movie that was good, but there's a lot of sex and swearing is Anora.
what's the name of it?
Anora, Anora.
I haven't seen that one, but I'll take a look. All right. So there's a lot going on. And before the show, Linda and I were talking about Pope Francis. I've been saying for a long time that there would be white smoke coming from the Sistine Chapel when that
How
happened.
long have you been seeing it?
Oh my God, 2 or 3 months.
Oh, I thought you meant years.
No, 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 no.
And Sterling and my 2025 predictions, we both saw him crossing.
I knew, but white smoke coming out of the Sistine Chapels when they elect a new pope, the white smoke comes out. So
But could he be sick enough that they could elect a new pope? No.
they won't do it unless the pope dies.
Okay.
So they would probably put somebody interim. I don't think it's ever happened before, but they would probably put interim or maybe a council. And then when he crosses, but I see this white smoke as clearly as I'm looking at my hand here. So, it's kind of sad because this Pope has been phenomenal for DEI, in fact. Um,
Yeah, but he's in his 80s.
I know.
I told my friend who's very Catholic, I think you know the one I'm talking about. He was all upset. And I said, listen, let him go. He's elderly. He needs to be able to rest in peace.
We need another Pope like him.
Hmm.
The next Pope, it just hit me. Hmm.
What?
It could be even a Pope that wouldn't last long in the papacy, and then after that, another Pope. Just like, well, Benedict lasted quite a while, but Pope John Paul I didn't last long. And then John Paul II. So I'm seeing kind of like this Pope coming along that's not going to last long. I don't know.
Why did Pope not last long? The Pope John Paul, whatever.
Pope, like I think 2 or 3 months, and he died.
Oh, wasn't there one that stepped down though?
No, that was Benedict.
Mm.
Um, but I see kind of a Pope that won't last a really long time. By a long time, I'm talking maybe even a year, I'd be surprised. But then after that, I see a Pope coming who will be a real reformer of the church and
Good.
open and be inclusive and welcome everybody and be totally against vilifying people and deportations and treating everybody equally. I really see a pope coming that's going
Is uh
to
is what color is his skin?
um people are asking if we'd have a black pope. Uh I don't foresee that. Uh but I can't tell if it's going to be
I do see a black Pope, not right now, but down the road I do.
down the road, yes. But
The other thing is they need to come off this fascist, only men can do this. Men in skirts.
well, at some point, I feel like there's going to be a third Vatican Council. I got to stop saying at some point. I'm thinking maybe within the next 4 or 5 years that would allow priests to marry again. I know it sounds crazy. They could up until the Middle Ages.
Right.
Um, and also some allow women into the priesthood. They might not call it that, but so I see lots of reforms coming in that church, and I think
But
it's time. All right.
they're still losing members left and right.
Well, because they need to catch up with the times, and they will.
Yeah.
So I see a very,
I remember families, Portuguese families in my neighborhood that when the Pope said you can't use birth control, I remember feeling so bad for them
Well, they
because
would,
some followed it, you know.
well, some would do it anyway.
They'd have all kinds of kids. It was terrible.
Some would do it anyway, but um, the point is I don't want to use the word liberal, but I see a pope coming who is going to be progressive and really totally into reform.
Yeah, but I don't like the idea of people telling other people what they can and can't do.
Well,
That's not a religion. That's, oh, you have to eat fish on Friday. Can't use birth control. You can't do this. You can't, you know what? To hell with them.
a lot of those traditions were borrowed, but my joke is, what happened to all those people that ate meat on Fridays and didn't eat those fish sticks? And if you get too many venial sins and that adds up, who's keeping track? But then if they went to hell for eating meat on Friday after the Second Vatican Council, when you no longer had to do that, where did they go? Were they just floating around somewhere? I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's church dogma.
It's
Um,
not just the Catholic Church either.
Oh, I know.
The
It's,
Mormons and everybody.
but I think, but I mean, the church needs leadership, absolutely. But I think that it'll be somebody, the Pope, the next Pope, or the one after, because I see somebody just very temporarily. But anyway, as I said, would be a tremendous reformer and open the church's arms to all people. And I think that's highly important.
Hey, listen, his kidney function test shows his kidneys are kind of going down. That usually means you're near death, right?
Not long for him.
Okay.
Be surprised if he even makes it till March the 15th, to be honest with you. Um,
What's March 15th?
oh, you said the Ides of March. That's March.
Oh, the Ides of March is the 15th?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
thought it was March 1st.
No, I think it's the 15th. Uh,
Okay.
so it's right around the corner. When I hook into him, when you walk into a funeral home and you get that odd smell, and then I see a casket and a hand going like this, and whenever I see those three things together, it means death very soon, usually within a month. So, um, I don't know.
He's
I,
still in the unit.
I know. I think the next week or two will be more, I hope I'm wrong. I hope he makes it, but I don't see that.
I feel like they're going to say he went into a coma or something. He might have had a stroke or something. Either that or with the kidneys going bad, his BUN went up so high that put you in a coma.
And his creatinine is probably sky high because his kidneys are failing. All right, are we ready to get to questions?
Now, after that fun episode,
Yeah, right after all that fun. I do have openings for Peru and I've got openings for Iceland. Please come with us. It'll be safe to fly, I promise. Um, we're
how
gonna
can you promise that?
because I don't see any plane crashes for people going on my trips.
Oh,
If I thought there was going to be a plane crash, my butt wouldn't be on those airplanes, I'll tell you. And if I sense danger, but I thought about it from seeing it from different perspectives and people going on the trip, and I see a future for all of those people. So therefore, I know that the flights will be safe.
okay.
I'm just not feeling a crash or
Well,
crash.
I'm glad you said it on camera so I can sue your estate if something happens to my sister.
She's going to be fine. All right. Barb wants to know, will the astronauts return to Earth safely?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
I see that too. Absolutely. This is a really good one. Brenda Lamoso says, will Canada start deporting Americans? She said like Mexico is doing, but let me check that out. I have not heard of Mexico deporting Americans.
I had heard it and found out it was a fake news.
I think it's fake news. Mexico is not deporting Americans.
No.
Um, so no, Canada will not deport Americans. Um, but I see Canadians stand it united in protesting what Trump is doing with those tariffs and all of that. And my guides had shown me that Trump, with the tariffs, wanted to kind of create economic problems in Canada so he could put his puppet in Canada with the misinformation and election interference. We know Elon Musk is interfering there as well,
Yeah.
but it blew up. It didn't work because Canadians said, no, 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 no. We're standing together and they're boycotting American products.
In fact, Trudeau said he'd never seen such unity with Canadians like he has now
Exactly.
because they're so mad at the United States. Who's that picture of the man behind your head? The
Me,
drawing?
me,
Yeah.
see it?
Oh, I didn't know if that was your dad or what.
Me, those are my dogs. That's Gizmo. That's me. And that's Radar. One of my friends decided that she could do pencil drawings, and she did them for me. And they're crooked, I can tell now, but
Good job.
I framed them and put them up.
Very nice.
So those are all my dogs that are in spirit. Um, so that man is me. Okay. So no, I don't see Canada deporting Americans, but Canadians will stand strong and firm. And I can tell you right now, they're not going to put I'm sorry, a MAGA maple or a maple MAGA in power.
No,
All right. You know, I read about Zelensky saying he would step down. I don't think he said he would step down, but if they could strike a deal for peace in Ukraine, and according to
he
you,
said he would step down if they put Ukraine in NATO.
correct, absolutely. So let's see if that happens.
It's not going to happen, so he doesn't need to step
It's not
down.
going to
Not
happen.
now, it's not going to happen.
So the question is, I think we just answered it. Helen Zazutko, will Zelensky step down to bring peace to Ukraine, and will the people continue to fight? I don't see him stepping down.
I see them continuing to fight. And let me tell you something. Today they were showing how much money the UK and everybody sent, even Spain sent us $1 billion. They have gotten, Ukraine has gotten more money than the US ever gave them just
And
today.
and they're going to get more weapons. So
I know.
that's the rest of the world saying, you know, middle finger to you, Donald, and to you, Putin, because they're fearful. My guides tell me in Europe they're fearful that if Putin wins, then he'll take over other countries.
He
And
would, but he's not going to win.
exactly. So that's what they're fearful of. You know, the other thing that people are fearful of now is the AfD. It's a party in German um, that is really neo-Nazi, and
Right.
it's headed
Everybody
by
knows that.
Alice Weidel. And in the elections, the Christian Democrats won. They have 28.5%, but the AfD is now 20.8, so they're in second. And they,
Yeah, but we're double them. The numbers, they were showing the numbers this morning.
right,
This AFD is double what the other one is. The other one, sure, they went up 10 more points than they were the last time.
the AfD did. That's
Yeah, but it's not by a hair or anything like that.
well, I'm just saying though, if you break it all down, that what I read is that the Christian Democrats, 28.5%, I think is parliament or whatever. The AfD is 20.8% in the parliament, and the rest are below that.
Yeah.
So it's just frightening that they got up that high. And the thing that's very frightening about it is they would say, Alice Weidel, alles für Deutschland, Alice for Deutschland. But yet, when Hitler was in power, the phrase used by his Schutzstaffel or the stormtroopers were alles für Deutschland. That means all for Germany. So they did this play on alles and put Alice, so it's alles für Deutschland. And it's just affirming a slogan used by Hitler, but affirming that they clearly are
Yeah,
neo-Nazis.
but why are you going into fear on this? Because they're going to end up being nothing burgers. Give it a couple of more years.
I'm not going into fear. I'm just asking for a prediction on what's going to happen because people that I know in Germany are emailing me and Europe is nervous. So that's why I brought it up.
Oh my God, you think they'd be celebrating they won?
Well, the Christian Democrats, conservatives won, but they're still nervous about this vital gaining more power because they're nervous about, well, the same thing happened there that happened here. And they're nervous.
Why go there? You know,
I,
I maybe it's just that us having Trump is such a shock, but you know, Trump cheated and he lied and he's so stupid it's not even funny.
well, I'm sure
But
that,
I do see down the road and Germany is doing and they're going to hit Elon too, by the way. And did you hear they're trying to get rid of his passport in Canada?
good. The reason I bring it up is because people are afraid. And also because
Funny, I didn't see anything about Germany being afraid. I was reading the news all day today.
the people that I know there are emailing me and asking these questions, and that's why
Hmm.
I'm bringing them up. We know that Elon Musk interfered. Our vice president going there, meeting with Alice Vital behind closed doors, or meeting with her, giving a wink and a nod.
And Elon's spending all or trying to spend all kinds of money,
Right.
but
So,
they lost still.
but they want to know in the future if he can buy their election. I agree with don't go there, but they asked the question. And I'm not seeing Alice Vital ultimately taking or taking power in the government. Uh, so, they're just nervous because Germany is the strongest economic country.
It's
And
going to get stronger too.
well, good, good. And they want to, and that's what Germans want to know.
Yeah, let me tell you, the Germans and all of Europe, in a way, this is good this happened because they're no longer going to look at the US as a savior. They kind of sat on their laurels and allowed the US to think they're king for a day because we're always in the middle of everything.
Well,
So
even
now, guess what? You can't depend on the US anymore.
this new chancellor, Merz, he would come here, he was, all for Reagan and he loved this country. But now what he's saying is, wait a minute, with Trump here, not so good.
Yeah.
And so he's starting to warn Germans, and he warned Europe that, if we don't do something, this has this will this will totally get out of control, and that, we need to do something immediately, meaning to stop these ultra right wing people like MAGA from taking over in Europe. And he's warning Europe. And I think he'll be a strong leader to keep that from
Well,
happening.
they were able to cut off Elon Musk. They told him, no, you can't give money, or you can only give a little bit of money. I can't remember what all they did.
Well, he's going to be working with Vital behind the scenes, and it's going to come out about how he interfered in this election. And I see them getting some stuff on her as well. So,
Well, let me tell you, there's some inside thing going on. I've already told my viewers there's some inside black ops situation getting ready to happen to either take down Elon and Trump or both.
well, the Republicans are having, because, the Congress and the House and the Senate, they're on some kind of break right now. But they were having these
Again?
I think, I don't know, but they were having these town halls, not townhomes, town halls. And like a lot of the Republicans were booed from Republican audience.
Yeah,
Uh,
they really want Elon out.
they want Elon gone. He is the most hated man in the world and in this country. And Trump's popularity and Elon's is plummeting, plummeting.
Trump went down 11 points.
Oh yeah. And did you see how he fired the black general? Because supposedly the general was engaging in DEI. I'm seeing,
No, that's a bunch of crap.
well, we know that, but I think that Trump fired him because he was black.
Fired him because he was black. Exactly.
Um, but I see the generals that Trump is getting rid of behind closed doors actually talking about how to get rid of Trump.
I see that. I've been saying that for a while now. I see people, I see them making sure he doesn't have the ability to do any nuclear damage. I see them all talking amongst themselves. And I saw when I went in my dream in the White House yesterday or the day before, I walked in the White House and it was totally shattered. It was torn up almost like January 6th. My feet were sticking to the floor. There was so much sticky stuff on the floor. You know, the walls were damaged. There was blood on the walls, but I did not pick up that Trump was gone. I felt he escaped and Elon Musk escaped, but I feel they're hiding, like they're going to go hide.
You know, when you were talking, I saw both of their empires, like an empire on fire and like a big earthquake and just crumbling. So, wow.
But the
Oh,
men that were walking me through the halls were totally masked, black, and wearing all black with big guns.
wow. Well, I see also Elon Musk when his empire will fall. I see a lot of it being confiscated because of the stuff he's pulled and have to pay reparations for the crap he's pulled.
Well, his Tesla and his all this stuff is going to crash on the stock market.
People that own Teslas are putting signs in their cars. I owned this before Elon Musk.
There's a guy that was just on some social media saying he was down there and traded it in. He lost money. He didn't care. He just didn't want the car anymore.
Yeah, I think the market's gonna really, really have a huge fall. You know,
There's so many Teslas at ports right now. You can catch it via space. There's so many of them,
you
and
know,
they're not moving. Europe isn't buying them anymore. They're flatmate.
you know what I just saw?
What?
My light bulb went off when you were saying that they're sitting in port. I saw a cargo ship with those containers that had Teslas in them, and I saw the ship sinking. I don't know if that's literal, or I don't
Or
know.
they're saying Tesla's going to sink. Yeah,
Oh, they're gonna sink for sure.
it's sinking for sure. Hey, listen, and I read another article. I have to ask my daughter. Dave Chappelle, he actually allowed Elon Musk to come up. You know, he was introducing him. You know, Dave Chappelle thinks everything is funny. And you know, he got booed so bad he had to run off the stage. And then he locked himself in the bathroom or office or something. And his staff was very worried because he wouldn't open the door. They had to get the police to come and open the door.
I think they should have just left him in there.
But is see how sensitive he is?
Well, it's part of, right. He's like a baby.
Yeah,
By the way, how's Nicole?
she's fine. She's doing good.
I love her. I just love her.
She's having a reading with my friend Annette this Thursday, and then she's having a reading with Nace the end of March.
Um, I'm sure she's watching. Love Nicole.
She
Wait,
loves it
I'll
too.
send her this. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm learning to play it with my new computer. So here's to Nicole.
Aw.
And
What
to
kind
you,
of computer is it?
it's a MacBook Pro.
I don't know what
Uh,
that is.
It's a Mac. It's a
Oh,
laptop. My old one crashed, and so
I've never had a Mac. I wouldn't know how to use it. I've had friends that had Mac and I couldn't figure it out.
well, actually, once you get used to it, it's a lot easier to navigate, I think, than a Windows. It just depends on what you're used to. I'm just
Yeah.
used to Macs. So anyway, all righty. Um, okay, here's one. What will happen to DACA under the Trump administration? DACA are the people that their parents brought here and they were undocumented.
Oh, they're trying to say you're not a citizen, even if you were born here.
Well, yeah, Trump tried that, and that's where one of these a Republican, I don't know if it was Senate or a House member, got booed because he's talking about all the accomplishments Trump made. Now, this was a Republican town hall, and they started booing him when he said, "Yeah, he took away birthright citizenship."
And they said it's illegal.
Oh my God, they were booing, they were giving them the thumbs down. He didn't take it away. He can't. It's unconstitutional.
Now, the thing is, what do you think the Supreme Court is going to vote on as far as his ability to fire people?
Well, I think they're going to take it case by case, but some of it is going to be discriminatory. and they can say he can
Well,
fire.
there's one case that's sitting with him right now. They sent it back to go through the lower court.
And that's exactly what I think they're going to do a lot of, send it back to the lower courts. Because my guides had shown me what Trump is doing is flooding the zone. In other words, passing all these executive orders, and I heard Steve Bannon say it too, and they're going to pass so many, hoping that some things will slide through that the courts can't handle it all. But they're
Yeah,
doing a pretty good job of it.
they're doing a heck of a job.
But I think the Supreme Court is going to be so overwhelmed with it all that they'll just uphold the decisions of a lot of lower courts. I
Yeah,
think I think the Supreme Court, with exception of maybe Kavanaugh and maybe Clarence Thomas, I think behind the scenes they're thinking we've opened Pandora's box here. And as far
not Thomas. Yeah, Thomas could care less.
birthright citizenship, if you're born here, it doesn't matter where your parents are from, you're a citizen as part of the 14th Amendment. And they will turn him down on that. The thing that scares me is, like Vance said, the executive has unlimited power and we can do whatever we want. In other words, he even said we don't have to listen to the courts. So if Trump decides to go ahead and try all that stuff, they can try federal marshals, but who controls the federal marshals? Donald Trump. So the
Yeah,
question is, how do they stop him?
yeah.
But people will,
Oh, did you hear what Maine said? You know how he told that governor in Maine? By the way, she's talking about maybe trying for Susan Collins' job.
and she'll get it.
She'll get it, yeah. But anyway, she just announced to all the people in Maine, I think what we should do is with not pay federal taxes and keep the federal taxes if he's going to block us from getting any money.
That's exactly what I had said last week and the week before we talked about it. I said states will secede without secession.
I said I did too, but it was with California.
I said
If
because,
he decides he's not going to give money for the fires, I say let's just take the taxes we would have normally paid them and keep it.
and that's exactly what we had talked about and exactly what I felt as well, that a lot of these states are going to be like, if you're going to pull that, then we're not going to pay these taxes that you take. And guess
And
what?
give them to the red states.
Correct. That's exactly good for her. That's what I mean with secession without secession. It was hard for me to explain. Or, people born here, they have birthrights. And I see a lot of states saying, nope, they were born here. We are not going to let you come in and deport them.
Yes. And let me ask you, do you have any? I feel like this is a nothing burger, but tell me what you think. They're trying to put up some agreement that if you don't carry your maiden name and you're married, you can't vote.
Oh, that's that SAFE Act.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't see that passing. If they try to push that through, my feeling is the courts will strike it down.
that's what I was feeling too.
Um, This is them just trying to flood the zone with this 2025 crap that Trump said he knew nothing about, which we all knew that he did. But, people are wondering, why aren't the Dems speaking up more? Why aren't they,
That's what
Republic
I want to know.
because Republicans that have had it with Trump, and I'm not a Republican, called Principles First, they have started an organization. Glenn Kirshner was going to attend, but there was bomb threats. But anyway, they're totally anti-Trump and they're standing up against him.
Good.
Huge and it's growing. It's called Principles First. Read about it.
I will. So,
But the Dems, what are they doing? The Democrats need to grow as
yeah, well, he's sort of sitting there and he's going to be on tonight on Rachel Maddow. But I really get a strong feeling that did you watch our guy? Who's our guy? He's bald. You think he's funny as hell?
James Cargill.
Did you see what he said?
I didn't see.
Just just wait for it. They're going to implode. I give them 30 days. They're going to implode. So don't you guys worry. I don't want anybody talking or complaining. Just be quiet. Allow them to implode.
I think it'll take longer than 30 days, but
I don't know. That's what he said.
no, I did see that. I saw when he said that. I didn't know exactly which time. Yeah, I saw that. Okay. I mean, Trump will meet his Waterloo. So will Vance, and so will Musk. Um, and I hate to say this, but I'm taking perverse pleasure in seeing it happen.
Me too.
Okay, Asher Rona wants to know, says, will your spirit guides tell you if Jack Smith is over at the, how do you say, the Hog or the
He's
Hague?
at the, and guess what else, you guys? You're going to love this. Because of the new German voting, he's going to open up everything with the hug, including Jack Smith's reports.
Yes.
So
Well,
they will be ready, willing, and able even to attack Trump from Germany or wherever to say, if you come to international waters, we're arresting you.
well, Merz,
Jack Smith's report will be wide open.
well, that's a new chancellor of Germany. Will stand up to him. That's for sure, to Trump.
Mhm.
But I think vital behind the scenes is going to be working with Trump and Musk. But there's going to be whistleblowers that'll come out and say what she's been doing. So the earlier question I had about her taking power, this whistleblower coming out will actually be the thing that brings her down.
Brings who down?
Alice Weidel in Germany.
Oh, okay.
Because it'll come out that she's what she's done with Trump and Elon Musk behind the scenes to influence the
Well,
election.
listen, it's getting feverish and you don't mess, we like to make fun of the red hats. You don't mess with people's livelihood. And let me tell you, it's coming up to be voted on now. They're going to cut Medicaid. They now are going to make the retirement age 59. I guess it was 55. But they're going to hurt people with disabilities. And so what happens when you hurt their livelihood is they don't mess, they got nothing to lose. What do they got to lose? Just now, someone sent me to look at YouTube. Masses of people, red hats, are gathered together burning Trump flags.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Massive protest. What scares me and what people want to know, and there's a question here about that, will Trump declare martial law? I feel like he'll think about it, but if
Oh,
he,
he definitely wants to do it, but I just see them marching and maybe burning flags.
yeah,
Oh,
but
I got to tell you a hit I got last night. I wrote my friend about it. I get a hit that there's going to be somebody like a Democrat or someone who speaks out against Trump, attacked, could be murdered or really hurt. And that's going to really make people go cray cray.
when you say marching, burning flags, I see the same thing. But Trump and his perverted world could say, oh, it's insurrection, it's this, that.
No, it's Trumpsters. She's
No, no,
right
no,
now. She just sent it's on YouTube.
no, I understand all that. But what I'm trying to say that I predict what Trump will do is when people are marching and burning flags, Trumplicans burning hats, all of that stuff, that at some point he will declare martial law, saying that it's an insurrection, that it's a threat to our country, some BS rhetoric.
Yeah, but who's the ones that are going to pull the guns out on regular citizens?
That's
I
correct.
don't think they'll do it.
I don't think so either. That's where I was going with it.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it because people are just desperate to put food on the table. And you can't, one of the things with the United States is our ability to protest. That's how we got civil rights and that's how we got everything else.
Well, that's our Constitution,
And
but
listen, just like with the bridge, you know how the what was the name of it? But it was for civil rights. I think Martin. I just went blank on him. What's his name?
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King and Lewis.
Yes.
And they were willing to be battered and beaten and dogs on them to to fight for what's right. That's the passion I see coming up. But
I
it's actually more. I mean, the Dems are going to be in it too, but it's actually more the people who, what makes them double furious is that they fell for it.
I see somebody coming forward much like a Martin Luther King,
Hmm.
but uh, even more activist.
Yeah.
Um, it still scares me that he'll try to declare martial law. In fact, he will, but it won't work. That's where I was going with that. Um, you know, um, there's going to be so many more marches, you're right, and people that even voted for Trump. Trump said he wouldn't touch Medicaid, but yet he can say, "Oh, I didn't touch it. Musk is doing it." And now people are nervous about Social Security. But I want to tell you something. If he toys with Social Security, you're,
They're planning on it. It's in the budget.
I know they're going to try, but they won't succeed because I see lawsuits because what we earn on Social Security. I
Yeah.
don't see how they can take that away. But that
You don't see it, or you feel that, or you see that they won't be able to take it away.
it'll get tied up in the courts, and the courts will
Yeah,
say,
because in the end, I don't see them being able to take Social
I don't
Security.
see them being able to take it away. He might try some shenanigans to privatize it, but I don't see that flying either.
But can you believe it? They're doing everything possible to build up billions of dollars to give the rich tax cuts.
Well, but whose pockets it going in? It's going in Trump's and Elon Musk.
What do you think about this whole we want to go down to Fort Knox? What's that about?
I didn't hear about it. What was it?
Him and Elon want to go down to Fort Knox to see if the gold is really in there. I don't trust them as far as you can throw.
I don't either.
In the meantime, they'll take a few bars for themselves.
Of course they will. They'll,
Or he'll say, tell you what, let's move this to Largo.
or let's move it somewhere else where he knows he can get his hands on it.
Mhm.
They don't care what they're doing to the country. Elon Musk tells us we have to tighten our belt. Why should we? He's greasing his pockets and getting fat off of the money that they're taking from us.
Exactly. Let me ask you something. In that dream I had, I felt his people were knocked off, literally knocked off. He escapes, but I saw those men that work for him being knocked off.
So
Like they're going to wish they hadn't messed with it.
I agree. I totally feel that. That's a yes.
Now, what do you see on Putin?
I
He
saw,
just sold $800 million worth of gold.
ooh, ooh, my light bulb went off.
Yeah.
Putin, I'm sorry, think about this one very carefully. My light bulb went off. Musk and Trump want to go to Fort Knox to see how much gold is there, and Putin just sold $800
800.
million. I wonder if they're thinking about taking some of that gold out of Fort Knox and some way or another channeling it to Putin.
Or have they already done it?
I think they have. I've got a,
They might have snuck it out and then they're going to go say, where's the gold?
my light bulb went off when you said that.
Okay. Something fishy.
Something huge. And that will come out as well.
Okay.
Putin, I see him going up in flames.
Yeah, well, they gotten all this equipment and money. Now the Russians are coming up against the border in Ukraine, but Ukraine is hitting more depots, more oil depots. And I get a feeling they're going to get some good hits in there.
Ukraine is going to get some huge weapons from the EU. If they don't get them from us, the EU will find other places to get them. All right. And they're going to be supplying Ukraine with lots of money, lots of weapons, and even maybe at some point, a lot sooner than later, building munitions factories somewhere in Ukraine.
Yeah. Do you think that that him saying, do you think I think Ukraine will be accepted in the EU. I really do.
Why? So do I. And in NATO. And if Trump pulls out of NATO, it doesn't matter. It's going to make NATO even stronger and then the EU even stronger. And that's another reason why a lot of people were asking once again about this Alice Weidel in Germany, because she wants to pull Germany out of the EU and out of NATO. But I don't see that happening.
No, it
I
won't.
just want to keep
No, no,
reassuring
no.
everybody. Okay, here was the flight that left New York to New Delhi that had to be diverted to Rome because of a bomb.
Yeah, and then they had jets following them.
Was that threat Russia, it says? Did Russia make the threat?
Yes,
I hear yes.
but there was nothing on it.
And I think Trump knew about it. Just like that threat for Principles First, it was a bomb threat, three bomb threats for the Republicans against Trump. My feeling is the Trump people had something to do with it. Those,
Yeah, and also don't forget all the bomb threats when we were voting. That was a setup.
of course, it was a setup, and Russia had their hand in it. Oh, here's something off the topic. I don't, it's kind of an infomercial. Hi, Melinda. I've got to thank you for introducing us to Androniki products. I
Oh,
purchased
yes,
I purchased some of their products. I had an issue with a dispenser, and they sent me two as replacements, as well as a couple of their other products. I was not expecting that. Fabulous customer service. They are amazing. Anyone else who reads this comment, I highly recommend their product and their company. Could you also read about stem cell therapy for heart patients? When will it become available in the US? And that's Kim Kayeha.
that's
Thanks.
coming up real soon,
I think so too.
real soon.
I think they can,
As soon as we get Trump out, because we can't do nothing with him in.
they'll use stem cells to like help with people who are in AFib and like put new cells in to be able to carry the proper electronic signals to the heart, things like that. It's very promising.
I went to my plastic surgeons to get my Botox. And that's where I had the dot surgery. One of the most painful surgeries I've ever, it's, they put the holes in. It was so painful. And I had that one in September or something. And I would say my skin was nice and supple for about 2 months. And then, it's supposed to last a year. So I go in there with the nice soft skin because of the product I'm using. And she said, "Oh, yeah, your face isn't as dry." I said, "Yeah, well, I got a new product I'm using." And she said, we're having a special on Dot again." I said, "Hail to the no."
I found Androniki. I don't need it. Um, my hands are great. They were dry and cracked, and I put it on my face. It's like so incredible.
Keep a bottle in my bed. So at night when I'm watching something, I can,
It's the best, isn't it?
it's great.
The serums are good too. All right, here we go. Back to work. Okay. Amy Seeley says, since the Democrats cannot impeach the president, well, we can't because we don't have a majority right now. Do you see the Democrats impeaching any of the Republicans? Well, I think that if they impeach Republicans, they have to have the same majority in the House and the Senate to do that. And right now they don't have it. I
They
do
will.
I
They
do
will
see
come midterms.
Republicans being impeached, yes. And I see some federal court judges.
But this is the wonderful thing. I see recalls on a lot of people that were for Trump in the red states.
Well, because it's going to come out all the cheating.
Yeah.
Um, People are asking about these three, I think, is it House seats that are coming up?
Yes. And back in before, people would logically say, well, they won't win Florida, but they'll win blah, blah. I think we could possibly win all of them because that's how angry people are.
Well, let's hope between now and the time that the special elections, provided there's no cheating, and I'm sure there will
Yes.
be,
Santos is famous for cheating.
and we got that right. But I think that because the other shenanigans that Trump is going to keep pulling between now and then those elections are right around the corner. I think you're right. People are going to be so mad that they're going to be like, wait a minute, we don't want this.
We might not be hearing about this now, but I think there's already petitions going up to recall a lot of these people that were at these town halls and said, well, he's doing that, if you were born in the United States, you're not a citizen. And they were screaming at him.
No, I saw it. My psychic light bulb just went on, and I feel that people, when they vote, you're right, they're going, especially in red states, they're going to start demanding recall votes. They're going to start demanding, you know, uh, better systems put in place. And I see, uh, you're right, some of those elections overturned by the courts.
Yeah. And listen, just FYI, passengers on a Delta flight had to evacuate via slides at Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport today after smoke was seen inside the plane.
But
All
that's
kinds of plane stuff.
but that's not air traffic control. What that means is I wonder how that the FAA and things like that and the airlines are really keeping tab on those planes, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so Lincoln Project, which I trust, said breaking Trump 5K stimulus checks coming out February 31st
You know why that's happening. February
because
31st.
his numbers are flying down.
Oh, 31 days in February. There's only 28.
Oh, I forgot somebody posted that earlier and I got it then. Today I realized. Okay.
Why? I'm like, what?
Yeah. I was like, because the maggots were really happy. They were so just, he's giving us money. No, he's not, you guys.
Well, even if they did give a stimulus check, you've just fired all these people. So these
I
people
know.
are going to even be that much angrier. It's like you're throwing us a crumb and you're taking our livelihood.
Yeah.
People are going to be incensed, I'm telling you.
Oh, and he's doing all those golf trips.
Yeah,
And he went down, he had to have his car at the NASCAR.
right.
It's
Right.
not funny anymore. This guy even said
People are
he got
mad.
fired and he said, I've worked for the state for 16 years.
People
I
are
thought he was just going to get rid of the black people,
people
truth
are
be told.
people are hopping mad. And you know that anger, it's a powder keg and it's gonna explode. Something huge is coming.
Do you think they're going to touch YouTube? I don't think they can.
They can try, but
And I think YouTube has a lot of
you know what? If they try that,
legalities going.
there's other social platforms, and
Yeah.
people will gladly go to another social platform.
They'd love to get rid of MSNBC. What do you think about MSNBC getting rid of Joy Reid? I was very disappointed.
I didn't hear they got. Did she quit?
Yes, they fired her.
Wow, I don't know. I didn't hear about it. I'll have to look.
And the other woman, the one that took Rachel Maddow's place, she's kind of a pretty woman with dark hair.
Hmm.
I think she's biracial. What is her name? Anyway, they got rid of her too, but she was kind of flatline. I was never impressed with her. But Joy Reid, she was on it, but you know who they plan on putting in? Do you ever watch? You probably don't watch MSNBC anymore. But in the morning, they have that guy and Elisa something and that other woman that have a morning show. They're really good. They're going to put them on in that time frame.
Well, that'll probably increase their ratings.
Well, they're really good. I will watch that. And I will watch Rachel Maddow now because the information she's putting out is
She,
really good.
she's incredible. I've watched her, and it's like
Yes,
incredible.
remember we were so mad at her.
I mean, I like Joy Reid, but I loved her, don't get me wrong, but it got a little they need I think what they're trying to do is get people that number one are more popular, but number two are more I don't want to say mouthy, but a little more dynamic.
She was pretty dynamic. What are you talking?
Well, Rachel Maddows is.
She's not mouthy. Rachel Maddow's
It's
not
not
mouthy.
mouthy. I don't mean mouthy. I mean dynamic.
Rachel Maddow's more like a professor.
I I'm trying to say I don't know quite how to put it in words, but they need somebody maybe I don't know if charismatic is the right word, but somebody that can just hold the viewers and like Rachel Maddow
You
does.
know, I got a lot of emails when you had said the new president will be real charismatic, way better than anyone. People were upset you were saying that. Kamala wasn't dynamic.
I didn't say she wasn't dynamic.
No, you didn't say it, but I'm just saying people were like, she was pretty good.
When I say dynamic, I'm talking about fiery, dynamic.
Probably a little bit, even though some people don't like him. What's his face? Gavin Newsom.
I'm talking about more like Elizabeth Warren She's not going to be president. It's not my point. But
And Bernie.
right, somebody fiery like that. That's what I'm talking about. You know, I won't apologize because I never said Kamala wasn't fiery. I,
No, that's not the word that was used.
w-
Dynamic.
dynamic. Okay.
Yeah,
I still see somebody even more dynamic than Kamala or Kamala.
Kamala. Yeah,
I see somebody really dynamic.
yeah.
So, anyway,
Well, the main thing is not afraid to speak up. You know,
correct.
I heard something and I want your opinion on this. I heard somebody said, but social media, you can't depend on it. But somebody said that President Biden actually put firewalls in front of Ukraine from being able to attack like they wanted to attack. He was kind of living on the border of not wanting to upset Putin. So they'd let him go so far and then they'd stop them. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that's not resonating with me.
Okay, good. Thanks.
That's just not resonating with me at all.
Because I felt like he had said a couple of times Ukraine will win.
Right, right. So I'm not feeling that.
Somebody is trying to make bad news on Putin. I
That's
mean, on Biden.
that's what I feel. Okay, we got time for just two more, then we'll call it a day.
Okay.
Um, Song Chin says, Aloha, Mel and Linda. I'm currently visiting Maui and sadly witnessed an explosion of barbecues at our condo in Kanapali on Thursday. Wow. I guess that something exploded. It was absolutely terrifying. We have spent many, many hours at that very spot. 7 injured and one airlifted to Honolulu.
Oh,
Please say prayers for the victims and their family. Wow.
like where were these barbecues? On the lanai or out in a park?
I don't know, but it just said it was an explosion of barbecues at our condo in Kanapali on Thursday.
Oh.
Uh,
Barbecues with an S.
yes, barbecues, plural. So,
So
oh,
was it propane, I wonder?
I would assume. So,
Oh,
prayers
gosh, prayers for them.
being sent. Yes, absolutely. Okay.
These poor people in Hawaii and also in LA with the fires and everything. Oh,
Okay. S- Uh, Susie, I can't pronounce her name. Suzette, will the religious right slash Steve Bannon take on Elon Musk? Will they be effective? Elon Musk is in direct contrast to family values with his 13 children, four mothers, and belief in computer brain implants, drug use, atheism. Elon believes it is his duty to the human race to ensure his superior genes perpetuate throughout human history. I don't think Steve Bannon will take him on, but it amazes me that, these ultra right so-called,
I don't see much money left with him at the end of the day.
or do I, that the Christian nationalists were all about Trump, but yet they they also support Musk, who's got all these,
Well, I mean, look, if they support Trump, who's a felon, a convicted felon, a rapist.
well, because he knows that they know that if they do his bidding, that, he'll pander to them and they can push their pseudo-religious beliefs down all of our throats.
Yeah, and then the Bible, he wants you to buy his Bible. I mean, it's so ridiculous.
Oh, the leather-bound version that he holds upside down.
It's just so sad.
Alrighty. Here's one more, then we'll go. Aloha,
Okay.
anti-melon lady Linda. Hey, I like that. Will Zelensky be safe while Putin and the tangerine toddler try to pull the U.S. out of NATO and the UN? Absolutely, Zelensky will be safe.
Yeah, I don't know why he's got some sort of angelic forces around him.
Certainly does.
Did you see all those bigwigs from all the countries over there celebrating their ability to stay afloat in 3 years of being attacked?
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of bigwigs were there, and they all had this red kind of candle thing, and they all put it down, him and his wife, and the rest of them put it down, all of them supporting. You know what it is? Nobody wants Putin to take over.
No, nobody does. Well, except that woman in Germany who is pro-Putin, but she's not. I don't know. I
You
don't.
know, Putin was part of this too.
Of
I
course,
wouldn't doubt if the other people would have won by even more if Putin and Elon didn't have their hands in it.
of course he was. Of course, that's my whole thing. It was Elon Putin interfering in the German election, and that will come out as well.
I love it.
They want to put their puppets in power, but they won't succeed.
I love it.
Anyway, I'm okay, everybody. Don't hang up yet, Linda. I'm just gonna stop the
See you
recording.
guys next Monday.
Next Monday, I'm on Linda's show. Stay
And
well.
then Tuesday, Jack gets his surgery.
Okay, well, we'll say prayers for Jack on Tuesday, and you're going to be on Sherry's show tonight, right?
Yes. Are
Okay,
you going to be on it too?
I'll be on. All right. So everybody stay well, stay safe, and we'll see you later on tonight.
Adios, amigos.